to Cover Slaves, the show where we play Warhammer 40k, and it's a problem. Anyway, with me today is Anubis Jason, and Carl Limatinen, aka Sensation, aka Carl Lutnett, aka Lutnett, aka Shortman. Carl hasn't played 40k in months, and we're reminding him why that is.
4 months.
4 months. So we're trying to have a game. It'll be fun. I'm playing Space Marines. I got 2 lists of Ultramarines, and you guys are running
Tau Empire, 1,500 points.
Farsight Enclaves, plural, even though it's only a single army.
So yeah, this will be the story of Marines losing to Tau. But who knows? I could win. I could pull it out.
I brought my terribly unlucky dice.
Good. I'm happy to hear that you have cold dice. So maybe a bit better.
But I've lubed them since I last used them, so maybe they'll work again.
I just don't want to know they've been inside, Carl. So yeah, we'll be back with our armies and the deployment type and all that stuff.
We need to do a clip where we all point at the camera.
Oh, we were pointing? This is 1,500 points of Farsight Enclaves. At the front we have a Tau commander with air-bursting fragmentation projector, shield, twin-link plasma guns. He has Master of Ambush, D3, or 3 units can do those things that aren't nice. There are 5 3-man crisis teams. The 3 in the front have twin-linked plasma guns. The 2 in the back have twin-linked missile pods and interceptor. There's a single broadside with high-yield missile pod, smart missile system, interceptor, and BS2 Overwatch. The 2 Riptides are identical, ion accelerator, twin-linked plasma gun, BS2 Overwatch, and interceptor. And the tank is missing the pilot, but that would be Long Strike with, I forget the names of the things, but it's +1 cover and move through cover, and submunitions, and railgun, and smart missile system. So that is 1,500 points of Farsight Enclaves.
This is my 1,500 point Tau Empire list. Starting with my HQ, we have a big suit commander with all the stuff. He's got 2 fusion blasters, shield, he's got Feel No Pain, he's got the Honor Gauntlet, he has the Nero chip, and the Disruptor. He has a single shield drum, basically for an extra wound. He has the Warlord trait of Conqueror of Cities. So moving to troops, we got 2 units of 10 crew with 6 hounds, 2 units of 6 fire warriors with EMP grenades. There is, let's go to elites now. So 2 identical Riptides with interceptor and BS2 Overwatch, smart missiles and ion accelerator, single broadside with interceptor, 2 grouped broadsides with interceptor. Trying something new, we got a Hammerhead gunship with the 2 Forge World fusion cannons, smart missiles, and disruption pod. Then we have Barracuda with disruption pod, and 2 single Tetras with just whatever they come with. That is my list. Oh yes, and I should also mention, I have here my assassin, my Culexis assassin. So he is, I will go for a close up here. This is my scratch-built custom Culexis assassin.
Look at how cool he is.
Oh, he's cool.
Here's the first of my 2 1,500 point Ultramarine lists. Right up front there we got Tigerius. Next to him we have 2 tactical squads with grav cannons. Behind them is a 3-man dev squad with the cynical loadout, and they'll be in a pod. Over here we have 2 Forge World Dynamos pattern Vindicator tank destroyers. Behind them, some Assault Centurions with the Hurricane Bolters and Multi-Meltas. They're also in a pod with a locator beacon. Storm Talent gunship with the Scammer missiles, because narrative. And over there we have a Ironclad Dreadnought with Chain Fist and Heavy Flamer and Melta Gun in a pod. So that's the first of my 1,500 point list. Oh, and Tiggy has the Storm of Fire Warlord trait. My second Ultramarines list, leading it, we have a Chapter Master on a bike with the Shield Eternal, Thunderhammer, Auspex, a bunch of good shit. Behind them, another 2 tac squads with grav cannons. Then we got 5 bikes. The Sergeant has Power Axe Melta Bombs, and they have 2 plasma guns. Behind them, 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators, likely in this guy. He's got extra armor, Las Cannon, Multi-Melta. Also another Ironclad Dread with the Heavy Flamer and Chain Fist and all that shit. We have a Relic Sicaran Battle Tank with the Schism of Mars thing from Forge World there. It's pretty cool. Gives me a 4+ save against haywire attacks and tank hunter. And I've also got the sponsored last cannons there. And then last but certainly not least, a Thunderfire cannon. So yeah, and my warlord trait for this guy is Master of Ambush, which lets me outflank and shit. 300 points, Ultramarines. I forgot to mention, in addition to the 200 point lists, both sides will have a Count as Collects Assassin. So this is my Count as Collects Assassin. He's a Mechanicus badass.
So this is the Tau and Farsight Enclaves battle plan. Trademark, copyright.
That's right.
Don't steal this from SGW.
That's right.
So, Monsieur Jason, what was your thoughts on this?
Well, I think our deployment zone is pretty good. We one choice of deployment, so that's cool. It's short table edges, so that is also cool. I think this side has a little more high ground than the other side, which could work for us.
We also have the forests that could benefit the crew if we decide to put them there.
I've got like +1 cover in like almost everything because of my warlord trait.
Oh, Conquer of Cities, that's
and
right.
it works for vehicles, which
I was
have
thinking
destructive
about
pods,
that,
which
yeah.
means they'll have a 2+2.
2+2.
Yeah. So, I'm basically going to do a lot of the. I think you're going to do a lot of the legwork.
No, they've got 2+ without Jink.
I think it's 3+. 4 to +1.
For a ruin. 4+. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
4 months.
Yeah. He's a little rusty here. That's okay. We'll get him oiled.
Doesn't take my pants off.
Not if you want him. All right. So what I'm thinking is basically we're going to kind of hang back here a little bit. He's got a lot of, drop pods and flying stuff. So
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of interceptor. I mean, a lot compared to most armies, but for what we could have not maxed.
I generally think we're going to do, I feel like we should do kind of like a castle approach, kind of what I did last week. Like, just sort of drop zone denial and hold up, and then once he throws his cards at us, we can kind of move out from around.
Yeah, the problem with drop zone denial is he has to be able to not fit a drop pod at all.
It's tricky here, because last week I had corner deployments, so it was like a little easier, but I mean, we could still kind of do
You
that.
just not use one side of the
We could do that, yeah. So, I don't know, it's kind of not a bad idea here, because there's not too many places for him to hide,
Yeah, I was thinking of actually outflanking one of the Riptides.
That could work.
Since we're playing with that, what's it called? Watch the Flanks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An assault from reserve or outflank.
Yeah.
Not deep strike though.
That's right. So that could be cool. I'm pretty worried about this guy. He's packing a lot of damage. So
if we can shoot it down before it comes in.
Easier said than done.
Not before it comes in. Sorry, as it comes in. Interceptor, but
we have like strength 7 to throw at it.
Yeah,
so
we don't have much high strength.
Yeah.
We don't have any high strength intercept.
So I think we're gonna have to basically just sort of watch our asses and like get a secure beachhead and just sort of move out from there.
Yeah, I don't want to let him really dictate early though.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, we can hold.
If we keep
stuff
quite
in
a bit in reserve,
Yeah.
outflank or whatnot.
I've got the plane, which he has like no answer for.
Yeah.
I've got crew that can come off the sides.
He can go air to air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What else? We have. You have one broadside. Yeah, we got a couple broadsides to throw around. We got a lot of.
Yeah.
We had some decent range. I mean, Yeah, I don't know what, like, you could hold a couple, like one of your Riptides in reserve. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll find it. Infiltrate a bunch of other stuff just so we can get more
Even the
room.
commander? I don't know.
With a squad, maybe.
Yeah.
Not alone. That would be all three.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh well.
But yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a plan.
general idea is we're going to castle up, we're going to do a bunch of Tau bullshit, and then we're going to shoot him when he comes at us, and then we're going to win.
And then shoot some more into the dead bodies to be
Yeah,
sure.
and then move around a lot.
And then nuke it from orbit.
Yeah, it's the only way to be sure. Yeah. I think
we're
we're
good
good now. Yeah. All right.
That's the Tau Tau battle plan.
For sure. Peace.
So it's time for battle plan, and probably should have one. But realistically, I made these lists very quickly. I was not thinking. So my battle plan is basically hold my sectors and not die. Now it sounds very simple, but Tau have a lot of shooting, so the dying part is really the tricky thing. I have to show them the 13 armor a lot more than anything that's too squishy because Interceptor, Riptides, bad news. My guess would be Jay's going to hold and Carl's going to go on the attack. That's my thought because he's got most of the crisis suits. So I really just have to ensure I'm getting cover wherever I can, really necessitating them to use no cover. And yeah, I mean, I can see a sizable force here. I can see either a drop pod there or possibly something. I'm really not sure. I do have some ability to outflank, and I may do that instead of infiltrate. So we have these nice big edges here to outflank on, and with our fear the flanks rule, you can assault. So I can see my bikes going in reserve. Hopefully Tiggy helps with that. But yeah, I don't even know what my powers are yet, so we'll have to see. And realistically, I think the odds are stacked against me, but that hasn't stopped me before. So we're gonna lock in turn 5, like we said. So only got 5 turns to win this thing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So this is Tau deployments. Bada boom, right here. How the Tau deployed. So it's pretty simple. We did try to castle up a little bit in the corner, do some denial stuff in the flank, and then that thing.
Yep. We got ourselves all spread out. So Carl, I'll let you go first with your stuff.
Okay, so we got 2 buddies. You know, they met in the barracks, even though they're from different armies, and they became friends, and they're hanging out on the roof together.
They're lovers.
Shh. It's a secret. We got Long Strike back here, taking some cover behind the building. And then we got all of your other Tau stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'll go through my stuff here. So we got the squad of 2 broadsides. These are actually joined together. They're going to be chilling back here. We got a Tetra here. We got the fusion cannon, hammerheads chilling there, commanders, sort of occupying space in the street there. 2 riptides in the back, trying to just sort of cover everybody. Oh yes, and my second Tetra. Bubba is hiding over there.
Finish off my units starting here. These guys are just barely in the deployment zone, but they're up forward. There's one of the interceptor units. In the back here, we got intercepting missile pods in the plasma just to kind of stop drop pods from coming here. Squad up here trying to take some cover in the barrels and walls, and then infiltrating was the Riptide, and considering he's bright green and bone, I don't know how they missed him when he was sneaking around.
Yeah, stealth.
So that is current Tau deployments, and we will now go to our reserves.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
In the Farsight Enclaves reserves, we have, instead of deep striking, I've decided to try to outflank, since this is my first time playing with the guard the flanks rule that we use as a house rule here. So the Riptide is outflanking, and the commander is attached to the Crisis Squad with Plasma, and they will also be outflanking, since I've also had some bad luck with deep striking in the past.
Very cool. Okay, so continuing on the trend of outflanking, we've got 2 squads of Kroot that'll be outflanking, as well as this assassin here, Kulex's assassin. Barracuda is doing the flyer thing, chilling in reserve, and then we got these 2 fire warrior squads, which will just be in reserve, walking on from our board edge.
So we got Ultramarines deployment starting down here. As you can see, we got some Assault Marines, or Terminators to be more specific. Then we've got Dynamo's Pattern Vindicator Tank Destroyer here. A Relic Sakaran Battle Tank VAR. Got a 5-man up here with the Grav Cannon. Moving on down, we have the Thunderfire back here. I realized now I forgot to use his ability, so I guess this will be a 3+ cover save. Another Dynamo's Pattern Vindicator Tank Destroyer there. And another 5-man unit there. I didn't have any infiltrators. So now it's pretty much all down to reserves. So in reserves for the Ultramarines, I've got 3 drop pods. The first on the right there has an Ironclad Dreadnought. The one in the front has the Devastator Centurions. And then on the one on the left we have the Assault Centurions with Tiggy. Then we got 2 planes in reserve, the Storm Talon and the Storm Raven. The Raven has another Ironclad inside it, you can see right there. And then we've got 2 units of outflanking tacticals with grav cannons. We have the Comandante there, the Chapter Master on bike, will be outflanking with this unit of bikes. And last but certainly not least, the Assassin, who will also be outflanking. So that is my reserves. Alright, here we go. No one expects the Inquisition.
Oh, fuck this die.
Here we go. No! No shit. Smelly fish people stealing my ability to steal their initiative.
The end of Tau turn 1. The initiative was not stolen from us, as you saw.
Tau.
Well, no, it's Far Tau. Tau or Tau.
Far Tau has already won.
It's the Far Empire.
Anyway, starting down here. Riptide took a wound, failing to put the shield on. Jumped up, fired down at the attack squad, overheated on the power up, made the armor save, and then thrust down. Plasma squad in the back, they just moved up from where they were and then thrust up behind the wall so they're out of sight. Missile team here, jumped out into the road, missed the whole lot, did nothing to the tank when they hit it, and then thrust back.
Commander here, he just sort of shuffled around, trying to kind of just block the street for drop pods. These guys are just sitting pretty up here. This Tetra kind of moved out. This hammerhead sort of shifted position to try and get a little bit more cover. These riptides back here fired their ion accelerators down at that tank, but I scored 1 hit at a 6 and they did not roll a 6. So that was pretty much it for me. Everything else is just sort of sitting pretty. This Tetra moved up here, it's worth noting. Passed his move through cover save there or whatever.
Didn't die.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
Long strike shimmied like half an inch for no apparent reason.
Yep.
So that would be the end of Tau, far Tau, turn 1, something, Tau, a bunch of Tau, turn 1.
Oh, it's coming. I think it's coming. We're just planning it. This is
The
nothing.
drop pod did not.
We're just getting started.
Both his Riptides also have their shields up.
Yes.
Forgot about
Yes.
that. So that's the end of Tau turn 1. We'll see you at the end of Space Marine turn 1.
That's right.
The end of Space Marines, turn 1, starting down here. This Vindicator fired all 3 of its shots into that Riptide, I believe causing a singular wound. This drop pod arrived over here next to the objective, and this guy got out and then he ran.
And survived some interceptor.
Yeah, he took a hull point for his trouble. There's a unit here you can kind of see the tail end of. They kind of moved from here, took it difficult and ran through the door. Didn't quite make it all the way in, so that grav cannon's kind of sagging. Back here, Thunderfire fired way over here onto Carl's Crisis Suit team, but it scattered and didn't hurt. The Legion, or what's it called? Let's call it a Vigilator. Sicaran, yeah. It fired at Carl's Crisis team here, killing one of the Crisis Suits, so that was cool. These Terminators moved up, as you can see, just kind of blocking off the road, heading towards the center. That Vindicator, down by the edge, fired at Carl's Crisis Suits way over there, but Carl made his 2 saves, so that was unfortunate. And yeah, that's pretty much it, except one last detail. This pod with Tiggy and the boys there. Did get Invisible off. They took a wound from Interceptor, and they took a wound from Tiggy going Super Saiyan or whatever there, so not a bad first turn. We'll see you at the end of Tau turn 2.
So this is the end of Tau turn 2. All right, Tau.
Dun, dun, dun,
Tau
dun.
turn 2. Okay, so
Far
we're
Tau.
gonna start over here. We had a bunch of our reserves come in. Start off with these Fire Warriors. They just sort of ran onto the table. They came from our board edge. We got this Tetra here marked up that Dreadnought to assist the commander who fired on him and caused a hull point.
Nice.
The tank back here fired as well, although it was, I believe it missed or
It did nothing.
Did nothing, yeah, okay. These guys fired their smart missiles onto this invisible unit. It's not firing. I don't think we caused any wounds.
No, we made him make one save, I think.
Yeah. Long Strike.
Long Strike also did the smart missile thing into the invisible Tyranid warriors who have been subjugated by the Inquisition.
The 2 Riptides back here. Mega Man charged up their super arm blasters and fired down there, causing 1 hull point.
And the
Let's-
shake. And the second hull point was caused by these guys who were out in the road and then thrust back.
Okay, the commander, after firing at the Dreadnought there, skidded into the street there. Broadside's back here just chilling, not really doing anything. They couldn't fire their smart missiles this turn because of Interceptor.
My guys back here just chilled. They're there to keep the drop pod from landing in there. These guys stayed here. The Riptide moved to block the door so that the Assault Centurions couldn't get through until I realized that the drop pod itself is blocking the door, so it doesn't have to. So he shot at the guys up top on the roof here, made all their 3+ cover saves because that's the fortified ruin. And then he thrust on top of here for some better line of sight for intercepting next turn. And then finally back here...
Yeah.
Oh, the plane, yes.
Possibly the MVP of the round. The flyer came in, not seeing any other targets that were suitable, and I just decided, oh, what the hell, I'll fire at these Terminators. I caused 4 armor saves, he failed 3 of them. I don't know what happened, it's fantastic, I love him, he's getting like an extra stripe or something, it's cool. Over to you.
One of my reserve, my reserve came in over here, the suits popped in, shot the back of this tank, they stunned it and took off a second hull point, and then thrust over here to try to get some cover from the grav cannon.
And to back them up, I brought in my Q-Lexus assassin, Mordrak the Insatiable. He came on and he fired his Animus Speculum. He did
nothing.
Did nothing, but he smashed it with his tentacles and broke it, and that was fantastic. So, yeah, first blood.
That was first blood, yes.
Yeah.
So that is the end of Farsight Enclaves turn 2, so we'll see you at the end of Space Marine turn 2.
End of Space Marines, almost said Tau. Turn 2. It's easy to mistake it for Tau because of all the interceptors. Over here, I had guys come in from the outflank. Unit here came in, lost a guy from the interceptor, but still killed a broadside of Carl's. I had an assassin that was here that was intercepted to death. Even though they need 6s, it doesn't seem to matter. He attempted to charge, but didn't work out. Moving down over here, Dreadnought moved up 6, fired and killed one of Carl's crisis suits there, instead killing him.
Oh no.
Tiggy got invisible off again on the boys. They moved up, shot Jay's leader, I believe, doing nothing. And then they attempted to charge and failed. Moving over here, these guys came in off from outflank, moved there. These guys who were in the building ran out there. This thing took a shot at Jay's commander way down there and caused a wound, but also blew itself up. So, you know, kind of unfortunate. Thunderfire back here fired way over, hitting one of Carl's crisis suits there and killing it. So that was cool. My Dev Centurions arrived from reserve here. They didn't scatter because of the locator beacon. They got out and shot Carl's Riptide, killing it. So that was good. This vehicle here engaged with Jason's flyer, and Jay, being the magician that he is, that didn't hurt. But he is jinking, so that's something, I guess. Back behind over here, the guys up top shot with a grab and bolter and killed everyone but the commander. Commander took a wound, so he's still there. Oh yeah, he helped with that as well. Plane that came in here. And last but not least, the Terminators assaulted the assassin, and the assassin killed one, and they did nothing, so didn't run. The combat is still going on. So overall, not the worst turn 2 of all time. They have first blood, but no one cares. So we'll see you at the end of Tau turn 3.
End of Tau. What we're doing? Farsight Enclaves. Something like that.
Tau.
No, not Tau.
Fine.
That's for the old video.
Sure, yeah.
Turn 3. End of the turn.
Yep.
So, starting back there.
So I'll take the reins here. So the Marines here were shot by these 2 Fire Warrior units, as well as this tank and the broadside. I believe I killed 2 in total. The tank missed. Let's go back here. The commander fired his fusion blasters and fried this guy, his last hull point. The Riptides, they snap fired at this unit here. They were still invisible, so I just couldn't hit him. Your long strike.
Long strike was positioned so that he could see about a cubic millimeter, or no, square millimeter of the Sakaran battle tank that was right here. So he fired, hit, penned, failed the armor save, and blew it up.
Cover save, yeah.
Cover save? Cover save,
Yeah.
yes, it's a tank.
Yeah. So, fantastic sniper shot. Okay, so moving along. So the Tetra was immobilized last turn, so he's still here. He used his marker lights on the invisible unit, which helped. So
now I have the 2 crisis suits here who then use the marker light to kill 2 of the mutilators? No. Centurions, assault Centurions.
Yes. Broadside's back here. Fired at this vehicle as well as some marker light help from the other Tetra, but no effect.
Back here, these 2 crisis teams had moved out, shot at the Centurions, just completely flubbed it, and then thrust back in so they don't get grabbed to death. That's very difficult to say.
Let's move over down here to these Kroot. This Kroot outflanked and moved on to this objective, ran into the building. The other squad of Kroot outflanked and using our Fear the Flanks rule, assaulted this tactical squad here. We managed to win the combat, but combat stayed. Over here, Barracuda. I forgot to declare that it was sky firing, which is the way the rules work now. So he had to snap fire. He snap fired at this, he janked, but I did not cause any damage.
My commander shot at this guy with plasma and rolled snake eyes for wounding, and then the cannon fragmentation air burst ejector, the fart cannon, also missed. So he just thrust under the roof to try to hide because he's probably gonna die. And there was an assassin here.
That's right. There was an assassin here in combat with this Terminator. The Terminator finally managed to get a hit on him and just pulverized him with instant death.
So that is the end of Tau turn 3. So we'll see you at the end of Space Marine turn 3.
And Space Marines, aka Deathwatch, aka Ultramarines, turn 3. Starting over here. My last reserves came in the form of these bikes with the Chapter Master. They rescued these guys, killing a bunch of crew in combat there, and then this is where they all ended up. Moseying on down, Thunderfire here, engaged way over top, and I killed about 2 crew, and Jay went to ground there, so he's pinned. These guys moved up about 6. Grav Cannon took 3 shots at Jay's plane, but he junked. My dudes up in the building here took their difficult and reorganized a little bit, some going down floors. Took some shots at Carl's commander, causing a wound, so that was cool. My Terminators down there charged the wreck that was there, and of course we played triple wrecks, so he hit it, explodinated it, and yeah, so there he is. Moseying on down, the plane that was over here ended up here. Was jinking at the time, took some shots, was ineffectual, but it felt right. Tiggy tried to cast invisibility here, but failed. But, you know, win some, lose some. They took some pot shots at the commander that is now dead and hopefully helped with that. The real winner here is the Ironclad who got out of this guy and charged Jay's commander, killing him, getting Warlord, so that was fun. The Dev Centurions behind the Storm Raven there. I cast whatever there that makes him fearless, and they also fired everything they had, all 15 shots. Right here, I had one of Jay's Riptides whose shields were up, but I still did 13 wounds and killed it. So that was cool. And these guys back here, they also took some shots at Jay's commander, killing his shield drone, so helping out a little bit. Most efforts around here were about killing that commander, which was cool. He's in hover mode right now, so that's not going to get too good for me. Realistically, that's pretty much all that happened, right? Are we forgetting anything?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Alrighty, so we'll see you at the end of Tau turn 4.
And what the fuck?
Got my serious face on.
End of Tau turn 4. So you start down here. There was a plane. It had nowhere to go, so it flew off the table. The commander, was going to get charged by a Terminator with a Thunderhammer or shot by Grav, so he was like, fuck it, I'm assaulting. So he fired plasma, killed one Marine, and then assaulted, and nothing happened. So the crew were pinned.
Yeah, they were pinned in the previous turn, so they just chilled there. They fired some staff shots at the bikes through the door, but they did not do anything. It was ineffectual.
So since it's turn 4, my Riptide came on and popped on here, and then the Crisis was popped on from the back, and they all fired into the Grav Centurions here. They killed 2, put 1 wound on the other one. Then he thrust here, and they thrusted up and over there.
Okay, yes.
Center?
Yeah, so in the center here, we have the Ironclad that was there, and there was a Tigerius here as well. So the Ironclad was felled by combined fire from the broadsides, boop, and I believe a marker light. Sorry to keep going over there. Marker light from there. And then the final coup de grace.
Tigerius glanced, or Tigerius. Longstrike glanced at.
That's right, that's right. Longstrike did a glance. The coup de grace, however, was from a fire warrior whipping an EMP grenade at it, so that was pretty cool. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, this Riptide fired and killed Tigerius, who was standing in the street there.
Took the last wound off, but the last Assault Centurion was killed by this team that was in the road, and Tigerius had his second to last wound removed from a Crisis suit that is now hiding back there.
This fire warrior squad ran, just sort of getting into the cover there. This hammerhead, which was jinking, so couldn't fire his blast. Oh shit! Something dropped. Fired his smart missiles here and killed 1.
I don't know where that went.
Shit.
Anyway.
All right. Right. So, and then I believe that is it for everything. Do you have anything else?
He's not actually dead.
No, this guy.
No, that would be it. So it's the end of Tau turn 4. So we'll see you at the end of Space Marine turn 4. 4 being an unlucky number in Japanese.
The end of Space Marines, aka Deathwatch, aka Ultramarines, turn 4. Starting over here. These guys kind of moved up in here over here. I want to bring the camera down. There you go. So they're on an objective. They're chilling. The front to fire behind the church fired way over here, killing 2 fire warriors, but Jason, a past is safe. Moving on over here. The Crut that were here were assaulted by these 2 tactical marines and this 5-man bike squad. And together they killed them in combat, and that's where they moved to afterwards. The captain, chapter master guy on a bike here had split off, and he called down an orbital strike onto the head of a crisis suit right there, killing it, and also killing Jason's Tetra. And that was cool. The plane that you're seeing there went to hover mode and moved about 12 inches this way. And its combined fire with the Devastator Centurion killed Carl's last Riptide. Cool beans. The combat back in the corner over there is still going on. So nothing happened there. My Terminator did move up to get on that objective, so that'll be interesting. So I think the only other thing that occurred is this plane over here did not fire at scammers and just used its turret to shoot at a crisis suit that was underneath this floor. Being kind of cheeky there, but I got him, so that was good. And last but not least, the grav cannon shot here at Jay's hammerhead. Immobilized it, put a hull point on it, so it's not going anywhere. So yeah, overall going okay. I think I might be okay. We'll see what turn 5 brings. So we'll see you at the end of Tau turn 5.
End of Tau, Var Tau, Empire. I don't even know what you call it. This is the end of Tau turn 5. Yeah, he's showing his pantomimes. He's doing some pictures still. Yeah. Anyway, all right, boom. So we're gonna start over here. So this broadside fired upon the 2 Space Marines up here, killing 1. I believe. Oh, it was the Riptide. Fired all sorts of stuff, killing the last one.
Fire.
The broadsides here fired at the aircraft, causing it to jink, but no other effect.
Long strike fired the railgun at this aircraft and it jinked, but no, it made its cover save. All my suits jumped up. We managed to kill the last Centurion with the missile pods who could see his big oversized hand. And then most of my guys, they thrust up.
Barracuda strafed sideways. It shot with its guns at the Centurion. Didn't do anything. But, you know, it was cool. The Fire Warriors, they shot at the bikes. They killed 2, I believe. The Hammerhead that was behind it also fired, I believe, killing 2. I can't remember how many were killed, but
then they fell back.
That's right.
So sitting on the other
they failed the leadership check and they just fell back there.
And in the back here, my commander fought in the combat, killed 1, they lost, they fell back, I didn't catch them, and now I'm just sitting here since I consolidated 1 inch facing a grav cannon, so that's not good.
Grave cannon.
So that is it, I believe. So that is the end of Space Tau? Space Tau.
Space Tau. I suppose a Land
Tau Marines.
Land Tau? Aqua Tau?
That's the end of Tau turn 5. We'll see you at the end of Space Marine turn 5 and the end of the game.
The end of Space Marines, aka Death Watch turn 5. Starting over here. These guys holding the objective, still holding the objective. Moving over there. The guys who regrouped fired on Carl's commander, who is right here, and put the final wound on him there. The Terminator is still holding that objective. Moving down over here, Carl had a crisis suit there. My chapter master moved, assaulted, and killed him, so that objective is ours.
Took a wound with an Overwatch.
Yeah. Right here, I moved 12, and I fired at Jay's dude there, snap fired at him, and I managed to put a couple hull points on him, so that objective is now in the Marine control. So, what else am I missing? Oh yeah, he moved up just to ensure line breaker, so he's entirely within 12. And that leaves me holding, I believe, 5 objectives. Carl and Jay are holding this one over here. They had First Blood and Warlord. I have Warlord,
2 Warlords.
2 Warlords, line breaker, and then I've got 5 objectives, so a total of 18 to 6 or 5? 18 to 5 for Marines. So, in my strategy video, I thought I was going to lose big time, so I'm very surprised. We'll see you in the post-game show. As always, I'm joined by
Anubis
and
Lutnit. Or Carl.
So, we just played 3,000 points, 40 gear, and 40K. And yeah, so I'm just going to throw it right to Carl, MVP.
MVP? Oh, shit.
Most valuable penis?
Everything I took screwed up at some point. The Riptide that was in reserve.
Positive as always, I see.
Your Twin Links plasma suits probably had the most success.
Long strike, one shot at a keyhole. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, you got the sniper.
And I had the one squad that managed to kill 2 models in an invisible unit, 2 of the Centurions.
That was pretty good.
You probably put it to those guys, because that was the harder kill.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that was pretty critical.
Yeah, the Plasma Crisis team that killed the 2 Assault Centurions while they were invisible.
Count as Assault Centurions.
The Tyranid
It doesn't matter.
guys.
What was your epic fail? Now that's a tough one.
Commander?
I don't know, I mean...
He killed a Marine in close combat. He killed 1 Marine with his shooting. He completely flubbed killing the Grav Cannon in 2 rounds of shooting.
Yeah, I guess. But... I don't know.
He didn't even damage the tank that he's shooting at rear armor at. It was...
Yeah, that's true. Was that his guys who helped out, or was it
Yeah,
the assassin?
the rest of the squad did it, and then the assassin finished it. Probably the commander. He screwed up the most.
What's his name?
Phil.
God damn it, Phil, you let us down. Jez,
Disappointed.
MVP.
It's a toss-up between the Riptide that was here and the Barracuda. And the Barracuda, I kind of want to give it to him. I don't know if he was exactly... Again, it's hard to say. It's like, is it most awesome unit that did the most coolest thing, or is it like most influential?
Value is inherently subjective.
The Barracuda already has its own theme song.
It does. It does.
The Riptide doesn't.
Every time I work on that model, I listen to that song. It's true. So you know, I'm gonna give it to the Barracuda.
I wouldn't, because that unit's still holding the chest.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like it was really cool, but
It's impressive that you did kill like 3 Terminators right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right out of shooting.
It's not so much the Barracuda as
Honorable
it is your
mention.
terrible
It's my shitty rolling.
honorable mention we'll put to him. I'll give MVP to that Riptide just because he got the most done, I guess. Like he fired missiles, he killed those guys. He did some wounds here.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
It was it's hard to say.
Epic fail, Jason.
The fusion cannon hammerhead. It did almost nothing. Like the
The
smart
vehicle
missiles
that
did most.
I was wondering why you took it to start with. I'm like, oh, let's see how this goes.
If I had more vehicles in your face, maybe. It sucks you can't use it against the planes unless I'm like hovering or whatever.
If you move, you get 1 shot. If you're stationary, you get 2.
It's an old fucking rule.
It's
ancient.
No, it's new.
Really?
That's new.
It used to be twin linked.
It used to be one twin linked. Yeah.
Okay, but it was a large blast, right?
So
Oh,
no. They've taken all the turrets from twin link to 2, which
I still think a normal hammerhead is better.
I probably would have gone with the ion cannon. The thing with that is that it will work, and the only problem is it was jigging the entire game, and it was also it was never in line of sight. We use a lot of terrain, but I don't think that's really an issue.
Ion cannon can shoot while it's jinking.
Yeah,
Railgun can shoot while it's jinking.
Yeah,
You're not. That's not good odds, but
That's really it to me, I guess. Okay. Grabblesworth, what was your MVP? Thank you, Grabblesworth. I don't know. Remind me.
your MVP.
Yeah.
That plane.
Partial credit. I think it's more who he dropped off.
But without him, they wouldn't have gotten there. That's why I'm giving it to him.
I still am thinking this guy, only because he just...
Ted.
He presented himself to so much support fire, just like not giving fucks. No fucks were given, and then you just need your Commandante in his face there. So,
Now that... that is a lot of bravado on his part, but also because I'm dumb and misinterpreted the rule. Fantastic job, that guy.
He wasn't alive long, but the short time he was,
He kicked ass.
really made a difference.
Yeah, you kicked ass.
I kind of like to, I was thinking, after I won, I backed off 4 inches, because I could have gone deeper, but then I forgot, 13-13 back armor is still vulnerable. You guys still got around the flanks and got him, so that was interesting. But I'm happy with him. I don't know. I think he did okay. Epic fail.
Ted.
Thunderfire.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean,
Killed a crisis suit.
I killed a crisis suit.
Maybe
I
it's
killed
three crew?
3 crew. Or two?
something?
Was it 2 crew?
Something like
It's like 2 or 3 crew.
I don't even.
Did you kill
we
up?
can't remember what it killed.
Did you kill
It took
a fire
little-
warrior?
I killed 2, I think.
It took little bites.
It did little bites, but like really, I mean, okay, it made you go to ground there, I guess. But that's really you. It's
Had
not like
nothing
a
to do.
like that. You made that call.
Yeah.
So, I guess him because like I could expect more. I also didn't place him that well. I mean, I could have just put him on an objective. I was too pussyfoot with him. It's long strike, man. Just worrying about that one keyhole shot where he just fucks me right up. So.
We can only do one wound to it, right?
Yeah, but strike 10, and if he hits me, like the gunner, or not the gun itself.
He'll never get around behind you though. Right? Because
Yes.
unless you put him in front somehow.
I've just been so used to having him in reserves too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Long table edges, yeah, I probably wouldn't save.
Yeah, maybe if we were going this way and I get like a.
Yeah,
But even then, he's
you
probably going to be
sideline.
closer, right? Like the gun, but yeah,
He's tougher than I give him.
two
credit.
turns would do
And
it.
he's like 2 wounds now, which is retarded.
Yeah.
But he in fairness, he didn't go up in points. Anyway.
And to be fair, unless he's still 5 or whatever.
The new tagline of the show is we play a terrible game. But I enjoyed myself. Today was good. I feel your pain from last week because it's not easy moving all your shit. Like there's a lot of stuff that moving.
Well, there's definitely a strange dynamic when you're going up against 2 people. It's almost like, oh, I can outthink them, and it's them.
It's
me.
weird because people tend to focus me. So if I have a teammate, like you guys were good, you were talking about the causality, like what has to happen when. In my head, I'm just like, dude. Like I'm trying to look like I got my shit together, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Just fucking, beat my way through it. So I don't know. Carl, 2 minutes or less thoughts on the game.
Should have been expecting that question. I don't know. It reminds me of part of the reason why I haven't played for 4 months, but at the same time, hanging out with you guys reminds me of why I did play for a while.
There you
Or
go.
why I have been playing, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. 40k is still screwed. Games Workshop is still run by idiots. This game still has a lot of silliness in it that doesn't make any sense.
But specifically this game.
Oh.
Not this game.
Not 40k in general, but
Oh yeah, that question comes later. This game specifically.
like kind of going for your battle plan, like what you thought would happen, whatever you can give us.
Our plan went kind of to what we expected. I don't know. I don't think we had enough stuff in reserve. I don't know. It seemed to not be enough. We couldn't influence enough of the game with the stuff that we brought out later on. So that could have probably been planned better.
Yeah.
We need more AP2 Overwatch. Not Overwatch. Interceptor. Now that
I think it's high strength is what we did.
now that Centurions can just take drop pods because they're fast attack, because that's stupid. So now it's not. Oh look,
It's
attacks
not
one.
One
It's not
Riptide attack can help with that quite a bit.
You can put one
That
wound
kills
on
like
each
half
model.
What do you mean, like to?
You can just strip 3 wounds right off the bat if you hit all 3 with a.
If it, if it doesn't overheat, if it doesn't scatter off,
Yeah.
and if I don't roll all ones, so
Yeah.
it'll never happen for me. It might happen for Jay, but not for me.
It's actually happened for you against my guard. You one-shot an entire unit actually.
Yeah, but that's guard. That's like saying orcs are good.
Oh! See, your negativity has brought down the Imperium.
You just killed the Emperor, bro. What happened?
It was B, an Optimus Prime,
Yes.
not a Negatron.
Yes. So Jay, we need to be Optimus Primal about the game. So 2 minutes or less. Your thoughts on this particular game?
Well, that's my Optimus Prime pose. Humans. No, okay. So what? I think.
Actually, I'm gonna stop you for a sec because our camera's notorious for crapping out. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Make sure.
You're
Gonna check. Is this gonna be all in one cut?
Yeah. I'll start.
doing
I'll start and
live,
stop.
cool.
I'll start and stop. Do the hands. 2, 1, and do it. Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay.
All right. Just didn't want you to get cut off. So
Yeah.
2 minutes or less. Your thoughts on the game? Jace won.
So, this particular game, I think we were a little scatterbrained. We were kind of all over the place. Near the beginning of the game, we kind of flubbed a bunch of stuff, but, whatever. The first turn, it was already, I mean, you played really well.
Thank you.
Because that first turn, it was like, we had no shots. Like, he counter-placed, like, really well. I'm just like, fuck. Like,
My first turn went the same way.
yeah,
I think I did.
yeah. We did almost nothing to each other for a turn. It was funny.
Maneuver warfare.
So that was
Pointed
interesting.
glares.
But yeah,
Skullduggery.
I feel like maybe the long. This is gonna sound weird, but the long short boardage. Sorry, I guess. Deployment actually kind of doesn't really work for Tau. I know this sounds crazy, but at least with the way we play, with the terrain we have, because there's so much terrain in the way that he's got all this stuff back here, and it's almost hard for us to really get at it, right?
But I mean, we are playing with much higher terrain density than most people.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, we kind of, I think what basically happened is, we kind of what we were kind of expecting to happen in terms of like, oh, the worst case scenario, it almost happened, like it just on us, Again,
The worst case scenario was an earthquake and the house collapses.
That's pretty bad, actually. Yeah. Well, I don't know, zombie rapists. That's probably, and they're electrified too.
I have to go read a movie script.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, so
I know we be swindled by bigamists.
Yeah, you played very well again with the drop pods. The psychology change that we deploy, and then you pull them back. It's really hard to kind of counter that without like playing into your hand when you're like, okay, fine, it'll deploy like that, and then we'll put these back here, and then So I was impressed with that. I mean, I was really impressed with you in general.
Thank you.
Throughout this game, but I don't know. I think what can I say about us? We almost need to get our shit together a little more. I don't know. I think we played okay, but probably could have been better.
I think you guys did okay. My only thing that I was content about was you guys holding back. Only because I know you can make up for the time with the boosting, like you just clear me on boost. But for me, it lets me go, okay. They're very concerned about the drop pods clearly, which isn't necessarily incorrect. But it let me go, all right. If I can just keep them.
Yeah, we played too conservatively, I guess, to surmise.
People obviously realize that like I don't. It's like attrition. I don't really care about casualties. I care about maneuver where you are in time.
Yeah.
So if I have to throw away the whole fucking army to keep you here, and then still more or less has like 4-2 objective advantage, then it really comes down to very few things. I think just because you guys are right, there's a lot of terrain. Maneuvering is so critical. It's hard for you guys not to box each other in as well when you're deploying so close. Mm-hmm. And so that can definitely be a factor.
Yeah, by about the second turn, I kind of realized, like second, third turn, I realized it was like, yeah, we should have been more aggressive, but we committed to being.
At the same time, you've got a lot left too.
Yeah.
I think you did good coming at me back there, and if that had gone a little different, that could have been really bad for me. I got quite lucky, I think, having that combat last for a while.
Yeah.
Because if you got out early, you would have been fine. I think you would have killed the Terminator, and then it's sort of, fuck, I have to turn something around.
Probably should have brought the Crudo over here.
You didn't get choice for either of them, though, did you?
I could have
did
rerolled the
choose
first one
one.
and choice.
Oh yeah, you got. That's right. You got
Group
Hans.
tenses.
I actually agree. Yeah, when you brought on both here, I was kind of like, I understand the first one, because it you kill it and you just run inside the door after. The second one coming in, I was a bit more perplexed.
It's because I'm 100% going to lose at least one of these units.
It was a safe spot for him.
It's weird when I double down with the crew. It's because I'm like, one of these is gonna fail. There are a bunch of naked people running around, like
No genitals.
yeah.
But had you come on here,
Oh yeah,
it would have been a pickle for me.
we should have just concentrated over here.
I was thinking of having the Riptide pop up here, but those graphs and terrains dropped there.
It was a good shot. I mean,
Yeah, I think I still would have probably done the same. Because at that point in the battle, I don't really think you guys had like the countdown for where everything was. It was more just like action reaction dealing with certain things. Setting him deep would have been a problem for me, but you're only rewarded with one objective, and you're already I'm already near one, so killing me and then I think that's still the smarter play. Because those things are expensive, and you took out like 2 right off the bat, so that was good.
I think that we played too conservatively, and we didn't. I completely forgot my train of thought. It's gone.
You got screwed a bit too because you had to change your list at the last minute, so you kind of just did the quickest thing that came to your mind. So but I just mean if you had a night to think about it, who knows what you would have changed? Because maybe it means like shifting things between lists or whatever. Our assassins kind of fucking sucked on both sides.
Well, I just
He blew up a tank. And they got crushed by a thunder.
Mine got face smashed by a hammer, and
Yours got intercepted in Overwatch.
Mine just was.
it got
was
towed. It was towed to death. Yeah.
It's easy to think like, oh, I get hit on 6s. I'm even with the invisible guys, right? It's easy to think you're very safe.
Oh yeah.
But what we all forget is like something like a 4+ infil is coming at the end of
You
all
see me
this,
roll
not the
6s.
gateway at the starting. So yeah, exactly. You have no problem rolling 6s, and the other thing about the assassin is if it's even a roughly high strength thing, it's going to be a rough go of it. And 4+ infil is okay, but it's not.
Oh yeah, but
hard to get
I was like,
around,
okay, so the only real threshold I have to get through is hitting, and I'm like, I'll counter that with volume, and then once I get past that, it's like 50-50.
I was so tempted because we're doing short table edges and the outflank, and of course we're playing with Fear of the Flanks, the whole like special rule for assaulting. I'm so tempted by that, but when I really think about it, it's a bit like what you were saying too with like stuff in reserve. It's like I could have seen just infiltrating because really I didn't infiltrate anything, and that was kind
That's
of
it.
dumb
I
on my
was
part.
really considering infiltrating him too, and I think that's what I'm going to keep doing when I use him because I just.
You have a better chance of getting, if provided the Sliger's on the table, you have a better chance of getting where he is.
Also, in early game, where the enemy's entire army isn't necessarily on the table,
Yeah.
you have this guy that a couple guys have to deal with now, and then you can really be picky and choosy about where it's going.
And he's a pretty big bubble when he gets up
Yeah.
in there.
So.
No, overall it was a good game. It was enjoyable. We played it pretty fast. I mean, like 8 hours ish.
Moderately fast.
We started about what, after 2:30?
Yeah. About 3, like by the time we
Yeah, so we played
Yeah.
pretty fast for us.
What time is it now? 10?
Just past like 10:20 right now. 10:20.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually early. Like last one we ended like 1 last.
Yeah, I called it too. I was like, we're gonna be done at 1. And
Two for
I
us.
was like,
That
no
time
way.
is 9:30 now. I'm an old man. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
9:30.
There you go. We can shift gears, I guess, from the game to our usual shit talking of GW because it seems like there'll be still some time on the camera.
Fuck GW.
So, Carl, I'll throw it to you. Thoughts on GW and/or 40K and/or Age of Sigmar and/or Jervis Johnson?
Well, fuck Jervis Johnson. He does say that in every video. Unless someone does.
Here's a nice job.
Really? What is he? I've seen him in
Except for
interviews,
the
he seems like an
dickiness.
asshole.
I bet all his friends say that, and all his friends would probably.
You assume he has friends?
I think he just always wants to
claims
play
to.
this scenario that not necessarily when he wins, but I think he's a fan of asymmetric gaming, and I'm assuming not everyone is. But yeah.
My general thoughts on 40K and GW, well, I bought my first Malifaux starter set. Yeah, doing that now.
That's the prefacing of it. So on to other manufacturers
bought
that
it to
aren't in
another
a death
guy.
spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked up Seamus and some Undead Bells,
Oh.
because I like zombie hookers.
Wait. Oh, I was thinking like.
No, these are zombie hookers.
It's like this balance.
I find that racist.
Okay, fine, I'll paint one black and one white and one...
Diversity.
Black and white.
Game's not improving, and GW doesn't look like they're gonna be improving it. I don't know. What was their last financial statement? Was this still a 2014 one? When they had to slash
We have to wait a little longer to
millions
see
and
the
millions?
We have to wait a little longer to see the AOS stuff, from my understanding. They didn't even have to show the shareholders that yet.
Oh.
So we don't know. It could be fine, it could be like dog shit. I'm assuming